All right, here we go. Page 1 of 3 breakdown for test 2. Part 1 of the SAT digital test. Let's break it down. All right, here we go. We've got data analysis. Question number 1. Anytime you see a question that gives you a chart or graph, always examine what's going on with it. And then you go right after the question thereafter. So let's take a look. We see that it's starting up here. It drops down. It goes back up, slightly up, straight up, across. That's it. You got your years and your X. You got your Y. All right, let's go into the question. For what model years the percent of cars for sale the smallest? Well, it looks like it's the smallest right there, and that goes to 2014. Done. Question number 2, data analysis, dealing with probability. Notice the answer choices. They are in fraction form. Sometimes they'll be in decimal form. Sometimes they'll be in ratio form. Like, for example, answer choice C is the same as saying 29 colon to 100. Got it? This one, answer choice D is the same as saying 29 to 10, but you can convert it to 29 over 10, and if you had to provide an answer in decimal form, it could be what, 2.9 is your answer. Okay, so just be very careful when you're dealing with these guys, and let's go into the question. For a particular machine that produces beads, 29 out of every 100 beads it produces has a defect. A bead produced by the machine will be selected at random. What is the probability of selecting a bead that has a defect? They told us it's 29 out of 100. That's 29 over 100. Pretty easy enough. But again, just be very careful with the wording. Sometimes you can say, what's the probability? And your brain's already assuming that it's going to be 29 to 100, but it says has no defect. So what's that answer going to be? That would be 100. We have to subtract 29, which would be 71. So that would be 71 out of 100 that has no defects. So be very careful with the wording. A lot of students make careless errors with that. Geometry, angles. So we see two lines, M and N. It looks like they might be parallel to each other. And then there are, you have a T going right through it. I think it's called transversal. I don't know, and I don't care. So if that's the case, if these two lines are parallel to each other, so we have rules. If that's X, this must be X degrees. Vertical angles must be X. That must be X. And if that's the case, then this angle is 33. That must be 33. This guy has to be 33, and this guy has to be 33. Let's go into the rest of the question. In the figure, line M is parallel to N. Yep, just like we thought it would be. And T intersects both lines. What is the value of X? No problem. How many degrees do we have in a straight line? Any straight line has 180 degrees, but if they showed us that there's another line just touching, and they told us that this angle is 33, what is that second going to be? All we have to do is subtract 33, and that's going to give us 10 minus 3 is 7, 7 minus 3 is 4, 147, ding dong, that which is dead. So all the x's have a value of 147. Question number 4. This, they consider this advanced math. We take a look at the chart. You can make, let me see, you can take a quick look and say, all right, we got that 8 going through there. Where you have a y-axis, that looks like it's going to be the y-intercept, and then where's your x-axis? Down here, and it goes down yonder. Okay, what's the other thing we could look at? We could look at, is there anything else? No, that's about it. So anyhow, what is the y-intercept? Whenever you deal with y-intercept, that means that's when x equals 0. So we can kill this answer, this one, but it's going to have to be between these two guys. Where is my black line crossing through the red y-axis? Whoop, at 8. So therefore, D is your best answer. Whoops, going too far ahead. We're just sticking to page number 1. We'll get to page number 2 in the next video. Page 1 of 3, here we go again, algebra. I call this the linear functions. The total cost of f of x in dollars. So this is supposed to represent dollars. Whenever they give that to you, now notice, remember, f of x, it's all about the total number of dollars. So 36 is dealing with dollars, and the 1,000 is dealing with dollars. Don't forget that. Whenever you're doing slope-intercept formula, whatever they're asking for is dollars. Your x is going to be a variable. It could be the number of clocks, the number of squirrels, the number of chickens, whatever it is. But whatever f of x they tell you it is, they said in this case it is dollars. Those numbers relate to dollars. All right, and what they say x is? X, they said, is the monthly payment in dollars. All right, that's good enough. So what is the total cost to lease a car when the monthly payment is $400? Oh, check this out. We've got 30. Oh, no, they kind of flipped this. They flipped this. All right, actually, your dollar amount is the 400. X, lease a car when the monthly payment. So they said X is the monthly payment. Ooh, they kind of flipped this. Your actual X value right? Your slope is 400. Your actual x value is the 36. They kind of flip this around, but it's irrelevant. We're going to answer the question. So if we had 36 times 400 plus 1,000, right? That's going to tell us what the total amount was. I don't have my calculator with me. Let me rip this calculator out of my cell phone. So 36 times 400 plus another 1,000 is going to equal 15,400. So that's the answer to the question. So that's how much the entire car is worth to lease it for $400 per month, which is 36. Actually, your formula would look like this, man. If it's true, it'd be f of x is equal to 400, your dollars, times x, your variable, the number of months, plus another $1,000. That's a pretty slick question. Good to know. Question number 6. Each side of a square has a length of 45. They didn't give you a square, so just draw it. We got 45, 45, 45, and 45. Now, we could figure out the area of this. If they ask us for the area, we could just multiply 45 times 45, and that would be the area of this. But that's not what they're asking us. They're asking for what? The perimeter. So that's the sum of all sides. We add all these guys up. We got 90 and 90. That's going to equal 180, and that is the answer to this question. Not too hard. Now we've got, typo, advanced math quad funcs. So quad functions, let's go right into this. They want us to, what is a positive solution? So that means more than likely there's also going to be a negative solution, but they want the positive answer to this. So it's the first step with this equation that they're showing us. We got the x plus 6 in the denominator. We want to get rid of fractions. So how do we get rid of that fraction? We'll multiply both sides by x plus 6, right? And this side we'll multiply by x plus 6 also. Okay, so this is going to cancel that. So that's going to give us 55 is equal to, now we FOIL this. X times x is x squared. X times 6 is a positive 6x. And let's subtract the 55 from both sides so we can turn it to equal 0. So if we subtract 55, that will die. But we put our 55 over here. Negative 55. Remember, now that we got rid of this here, now everything is set to equal 0. So I'll clean this up. And bang, this is what we're dealing with. So now we're going to factor this guy. What two numbers, if you multiply together, we give you a negative 55, but if you add them together, give you a positive 6. So immediately I'll go, I know it's a low end question, especially for page 1, or if you do a digital test, it'll be the first 10 questions. They shouldn't be that hard. So it looks like it's going to be a positive 11 and a minus 5. So remember, set it to equal 0. Now that we have this, we take each of these factors, we set it to equal 0. So x now equals a negative 11, which we know cannot be the answer because they didn't ask us for a negative answer. They want a positive answer. Let's do the other one. X minus 5 equals 0, so x equals 5, and that would be the answer to this question. Pretty easy stuff, not too bad. Question number 8 is considered data analysis, and they love using ratios in data analysis, and you'll hear it oftentimes when you hear two parts. An object travels at a constant speed of 12 centimeters per second. There are your two parts. Pretty much a ratio. So you have centimeters to seconds. So you have 12 to 1 second. So every 1 second you're going 12 centimeters. Now the rest of the question is asking at this speed, what is the time in seconds that it would take for the object to travel 108 centimeters? I'll put my 108 down here. How many seconds? I don't know. What do? We could just cross multiply. So that would give us 12x is equal to 108. And then to solve for x, we just divide both sides by what? By 12. That would cancel there. What's 108 divided by 12? There you go. Done. That's your answer. Question number 9. Data analysis also deals with mean, median, mode, range, standard deviation. So if you're not familiar with all that stuff that I just mentioned, well, you'll get familiar with it soon enough through the drills and exercises that we work on. All right, they're showing us a data set X, and we have a data set Y, and it's a list of numbers. I take a quick look at the list of numbers, and I notice, we got this extra 27 downstairs in data set Y that is not in data set X. And we say, Mama, why can that be? All right, now notice the answer choices. And Mama says, you better take a look at those answer choices and notice that they're all blah, 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 which means we don't have to solve anything, but we're going to work our answers from the bottom up. Let's take a look. D reads, there's not information to compare the means. So the whole question is to which statement correctly compares the mean of dataset X and the mean of dataset Y. We notice that we have a set of numbers, right? Now they're saying in this answer, D, there's not enough information to compare the means. That's ridiculous. Of course you can compare the means. You get the mean. Remember, the mean is to add all these guys up, and then you would divide it by 4. And these guys, you add them all up, but you would divide it by 5, and therefore you would get your average or your mean. It's the same thing. Average and mean the same thing. All right, so C is ridiculous. And then D is ridiculous. C says the means of data set X and data set Y equal. There ain't no way, no how it's going to be equal when you got the extra 27 in data set Y. Data set X doesn't have a 27, so there's no way going to be equal. Now the data set Y, use common sense. Data set Y has an extra number. It's a big number, a 27. Even if it's a number 1, it's still going to be a bigger average than data set X. Let's go take a look at answer choice B. The mean of data set X is less than the mean of data set Y all day long. It's got to be the best answer, but we don't know if it's the best. We don't verify A, so let's verify A. The mean of data set X is greater than the mean of data set Y? No, it doesn't have an extra number, so therefore that does not make sense. So A is out. Bang. Question number 10. Woo! A rocket contained 467,000 kilograms of propellant. Don't get freaked out about anything that's in metric system. Very few times will they ask you for conversions, and if they do, they will give you the formula for the conversion. So a rocket contained 467,000 kilograms of propellant before launch, exactly 21 seconds after the launch. 362,105 of this propellant remained. Okay, so we started off with this amount. We wound up with this amount after how many seconds? After 21 seconds. We cool? Now, on average, approximately how much propellant in kilograms does the rocket burn each second after the launch? All right, now you feel the questions starting to get a little bumpy. We got a couple of steps we have to perform. We're going to take our 467. We're going to subtract 362. I'm going to show you something else after. Let me just do it. I'm ignoring the zeros. So 7 minus 2 is 5. 6 minus 6 is 0. 1 minus 3 is 105. We'll just put the zeros in now. Now, how many seconds went by? They said 21 complete seconds went by. So if we divided this by 21, I almost did what I was going to tell you. No, I'll do it. You see the answer choices? Take a look at the answer choice. See how far spread out they are? You got 5,000. Then it jumps up almost 3 times to 17,000. And then it jumps up even more than that. And jumps up even more than that. I'm going to ballpark this guy. What if I just did 100,000 and divided it by 20? Let me get rid of the zeros. So how many times does 2 go to the 10? That's going to equal 5. And then we have 0, 0, 0, bang, bang, bang. So the number has to be very close to 5,000, which is your best answer, A. Now, if you use your calculator, it saves you time and energy, but sometimes you don't have to use a calculator. Remember, the SATs and ACTs have been designed so you don't have to use a calculator. But that's it for page 1. Stay tuned for page 2 and keep on practicing before that exam. Don't let it catch you. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact me. You can text me or you can call me 786-877-7231. Peace out.